Hey guys, welcome to the post weekly analysis where we go through a lot of charts and try to understand all the different types of patterns out there. And as you can see, I have Nifty start here. And as you can see, over this particular candle is when the market started. And throughout the week till Thursday, we had an extremely flat day. And that too, because considering that the last week we had multiple economical factors like, we had inflation report, we had RBI monetary policy, and even in US, there were a lot of Fed meetings and whatnot which resulted in sort of a flat market because market had already priced in everything that was going to happen. But on Friday's session you can see a big candle appearing. If you just compare it with what is happening in the market for the last couple of months, clearly a very big market, a very big candle which represents that market was in a huge range. There was a huge volatility, and clearly the pattern that I noticed right away is the hammer candle. What does hammer candle represent is basically market opened here, but then when it fell, there were buyers present who took the market up, which represent the underlying bullishness in the market. So clearly, when market closed here on Friday, this indicates an extreme bullishness. That's what I noticed in the daily candle. But if I may just go to the weekly chart, right? Here, I noticed something very interesting. That is, even on a weekly time frame, we have a bullish hammer candle. But not only that, this is considered as an inside candle. So basically, the idea and the logic behind inside candle is basically market has gone sideways, and especially if the this is called as a child candle in technical analysis. If that is a bullish candle, that means market is more likely to break on the upside of this inside candle and move ahead for the coming week. So this is what we notice from a basic MTF analysis of Nifty on daily and weekly time frame, and same with Bank Nifty as well. But Bank Nifty seems more interesting, but exact same price action, guys. As you can see, again another inside candle and a hammer in within it on a weekly time frame. So clearly this holds a lot of significance, right? If I just may go to the daily chart, again I noticed the very same pattern here. Also we have a hammer candle. So clearly both Nifty and Bank Nifty, even the banking sector and the overall market is in with a trend like that, actually interacting with each other very well. So clearly this is a good news because then market has a very high probability of moving higher in the upcoming week. So now here for me, especially what I'm going to look for the coming week are, if I go to the 15 minutes charts here, right? So what do I notice? Clearly, there was a beautiful pattern that I was mentioning in every day when I made a video. I mentioned, there's a beautiful pattern going on in Bank Nifty. You have to keep track of this because market has taken multiple supports here. And finally, on Friday's session, it gave a breakdown and there was a huge downfall. I'm sure every trader out there was able to monetize this. But then again, there was a V sharp recovery. This happens very rarely, but we're able to see that on Friday's session. So clearly, this is a sign of bullishness. This market knows something. Maybe it has something to do with the Fed meeting or our GDP report and inflation data. Everything came out a bit positive for in the market's favor. So clearly, for me, especially what I'm going to look forward in the couple of coming week basically is the first hurdle, that is resistance at this particular level, because this particular level was made a couple of weeks ago when market made that try to make that another 52-week high but failed with a double top pattern. So clearly this is a very important zone that I'll be keeping in mind. Maybe market might go there and take a bit of resistance, or it might spend a bit of time in this particular zone. It holds a significant importance. But once market breaks this particular level, then obviously the next biggest hurdle for me is to look at the 52-week high or all-time high of 54,400. Clearly is one of the coming month, till January, we can clearly mark these levels and keep watching them on a daily basis to take some better decision. So again, guys, this is not an investment advice. I'm just giving this to you as purely for educational purpose. Please do make your analysis, watch these videos, get an idea, and do your analysis before you make any investments. So next up, I have a lot of charts for you guys that I want to show you with some very beautiful patterns. And the first chart that I want to show you guys is the Angel one, which is a brokerage firm. As we all know, I actually mentioned this particular chart in my last weekly analysis as well, and it gave a quite a good of return actually. I think went up for about 6 to 7%. But now what's really interesting about this chart that I want to show you guys again is because there was a bit of a retracement on Friday's volatility session. So clearly, as we can see, again Angel One has closed with a hammer candle on a daily time frame. If I just zoom out, on a near a very important resistance. So we basically call this particular pattern as inverse head and shoulder, right? One of the most bullish pattern out there, one of my absolute favorite patterns to trade, and clearly Angel One is making a very beautiful structure that too, especially with a hammer candle on a daily closing. This is just as good as it gets. So I'm very interested to know what will transpire in this particular chart in the coming week, whether it will give a breakout and continue on the higher side. So next off, I have another chart that is Swan Energy. So basically, I was talking about this particular stock all the week. Throughout the week, I was talking about how there's a lot of interesting fundamental news which you want if you want to check out, go watch our previous videos where we discussed it in very length. So here the first thing that I noticed on a daily time frame, yeah, obviously the chart pattern, it's a sideways consolidation. Not you don't have to be Sherlock to figure that out. But what's interesting is the volumes. So clearly there are some big investors who are entering into this particular stock. So it gives me a bit of faith in this particular pattern because already a lot of investors have come into this particular stock. So clearly, it might sustain these levels. So obviously, there's a resistance zone about this particular level, which you may want to track for the upcoming week. So next up, I have Larsen and Turbo. And before I even show you the patterns, right, we just have to take a look at the previous journey that LNT has gone. I've been watching this stock ever since I started back in 2017, and this stock is just so good. It has never gone into a sideways market. As long as I remember, it always just goes up and up. Any consolidation, any breakout is just pure breakout. There's no false breakout in case of Lawson and Turbo. Maybe has something to do with because it's an IT stock with a boom in the US market. So clearly, maybe that could be coincidental. But again, this is the reason for me to show you such a huge history of the stock is because it has never gone into such a sideways market that it has in 2024, right? If you just take a look at it, I'm gonna zoom in so you can see it clearly, right? After many years, it has gone into sideways market, a beautiful consolidation with a lot of volumes. So clearly, there are a lot of investors involved in it, and now it has finally, it actually broke out of this zone, but due to market volatility, it came down and so after a long time, it has, given that breakout, but it has come back to the same level again with a hammer candle on a daily time frame, right? If I may just zoom in further so you can see it very clearly near the resistance, this is a very beautiful pattern. After a breakout, comes back to the same level and makes a hammer candle. So clearly, if the stock has any chance of going up, it has to be from here. That's what I personally feel. Again, do your own analysis before entering into this particular chart. So next off, I have Lumax Auto, another great stock over here. If I can just show you, just like LNT, but not in the same way. But clearly it has been on such a good rally for the last couple of years. And again, only in 2024 it has gone into a sideways market. And in Friday's session, it came very close to breaking out, but not exactly breaking out. If you can, well, zoom in so you can see it very clearly over here, right? It's closed very near to that, exactly that resistance zone, and closed very near to the resistance. So clearly, I think on Monday's session, it might try to give that breakout. So this is one of the charts that is on my watch list for the week. So clearly, it might give some good momentum. So next up, I have a chart of Polyplex, and this is a chart that I shared in my last week's analysis as well. I mentioned how beautiful the particular structure is. That is a rounding bottom pattern, right? So this happens very rarely. I must say, we see a lot of inverse head and shoulder or cup and handle pattern, but it's hard to find a rounding bottom pattern on a daily time frame. That too within a couple of months. It just formed within August to December. So clearly, a good resistance, a good overall structure, and it gave a good amount of return. I mentioned it on in my Saturday's video, and since then it has given clearly about 6 to 7%. And now, due to Thursday and Friday's volatility, I can just zoom in and show you the particular pattern over here. It has come back to that resistance zone, right? Again for a retest. So clearly, there's a make or break it level. This particular Polyplex corporation could either take it as a bullish momentum, take it as a support and go up, or it might again go into the sideways or bearish territory. So it's clearly a very make it or break it structure for this particular stock. I hope you have noted down all the particular stocks that I just mentioned. See you guys in the next week.